Hey up, Shaggers. Well, it's a steady -5 this morning. I've been greeted with that flat picture. But, well, temperature's just a number, isn't it? So let's crack on. Now, although it's as cold as it is, this tyre ain't going to fix itself. So I decided to hit the ground running. Well, maybe not running, but I definitely hit the ground. In fact, let's have another quick giggle. Yeah, look at this fat bastard. Whoop-pow! So anyway, now water in its solid state had made me look, well, a complete knobhead, and it dropped me faster than a pair of Katie Price's pants. Well, with a slightly damaged leg and a fully damaged ego, I decided to crack on. Now, he'd done the art bit for me with this one. He broke the beads by driving it round flat. So I whipped that first bead over, and now I've just got to get this tube ripped out. But with the tube obviously being in there for a good while, well, they'd become quite attached, and it was like trying to separate a pair of incest siblings. But I managed to get it whipped out, so let's get her aired up and see what's going on with it. So, there she is spitting away at me. Now, it was a bit of a strange one, this, really, because nothing had actually been in the tyre. But what had happened was the tube had been chafing away more than Lizzo's fires on a muggy day. And just like a pair of her jeggings, it had eventually given up. Now, just like a pair of Lizzo's jeggings, lube is recommended for application. But with it being that biblically cold this morning, well, it had actually turned me soap into a gel. But I managed to get the tyre fit up nonetheless. And that's the first one sorted, so let's crack on with some more. Right, well, here's the next victim, but they've not really done me any favours here, because, well, they've left it in shit. And, well, that's going to be a bit of a ball ache to jack up, I reckon. Well, it is tubeless at the minute, so I'm hoping we should just be able to fire some air in, see where it's leaking, and hopefully we should be able to get away with just chucking a string in. Now, I always tend to find that it's a lot easier to find a puncture when it's got air in, because trying to find anything bubbling in this deflated condition, we'd have more joy trying to get a straight answer out of a politician. So we'll get it juiced up and see what's fizzing. Now, at the minute, the only thing I can see is leaking is just from around the rim, but whether that's just because it's obviously gone flat and it's lost its seal, I don't know, but I reckon... Yeah, I reckon we whip it off and clean it up and then just see if there's anything found its way in. Now, with it being as bloody cold as it is, well, it had made the ground freeze harder than Rolf Harris when he hears the school dinner time bell. Now, unlike Rolf, I can't tell what this is yet, so I still need to try and get this ground level so I can actually get it jacked up. I've never had to chisel away at the ground just to jack it up before. What you don't want to do is jack it up and the ground be uneven, then it start melting, and then all of a sudden you're wearing it then, aren't you? So, yeah, we didn't want that. So I hammer and chisel and do that much digging that I feel like a miner. Now, I probably shouldn't have said that, to be honest with you, because if you mention miners and you're not careful, well, before you know it, Hugh Edwards' ears prick up and he turns up in a puff of smoke like some sort of Nancy wizard. But luckily enough for me, no Nancy wizard this time. Instead, you're just left with this idiot with his 2 metal magic wands. So we have a quick rag round the tyre, make sure there's nothing poking through. But I still can't feel anything, so it is looking more and more likely there's just going to be a reseal on this one. But just to be 100% sure, whip the tyre off, make sure I haven't missed anything. But no, it is just shite that's built up around this rim. So I grind any unwanted turd away, then start slapping some of this seal on. Now, I don't know the proper name for this stuff, but I call it Imodium, because its one and only purpose is to seal leaky rims. So once I've pasted enough of that on, well, I can start getting this tyre built back up and then I can start blowing it up. So another thing about this sealing, well, it's a bit like the council estate slag, because once it's served its purpose, well, you can wipe it off and then it's ready for the next victim. So, last one, it was a bloody scraper tractor. So I get it jacked up and start breaking them beads, and it was about at this point I noticed it was rocking on the jack more than a migrant's dinghy. Now, at this point you've got 2 options, so you can either rejack it and try and get a little bit more stable, or you can think bollocks to it, and, well, I think bollocks to it. So we get that first bead peeled over, and I'm having that much fun doing it, I decide to give the tyre a kiss. So now with the nose it looks like I've been grooming me boss for a pay rise, well, we can get this tube ripped out and see what's going on with it. So I fire some air into it so it can reveal its windy secrets to me. And all it is this tiny little pinprick here. Now, I've been telling my lady for years it only takes a little prick to do the job, and, well, with 2 kids later, it turns out I'm right. Bastard. So, I found the issue with the tyre, and I did this by impaling my thumb on it. So it turns out it's just a little thorn that had found its way through. So I extract that little bastard before it can cause me any more damage, and now I can just crack on and get this tube repaired. So I slapped some glue on, but in hindsight, it might have been a little bit too much. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, I had started to panic at that point that, well, it wasn't going to go out, and was going to end up with a little inferno on our hands. And I haven't got nothing in the way of flame retardant in the van. In fact, the only retardant I've got in the van is, well, there's the person driving it. So anyway, I talbay that baby up so we don't end up with any chafy mishaps. And now she's all repaired, she's ready to get chucked back in again. So I get the old iron wands waving again. I've finished getting the rest of this one fit up, and now we just need to air it up. So for those of you still watching, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give us a like, give us a sub, give us a share, and I'll see you on the next one, Cheggers.